In the beginning, there was the first breath, our first gasp when we are born. And in the end, we take one last gasp before our soul transitions from this human form into the subtle dimensions of consciousness. Contained in that first breath is the life force that begins our human journey. After that, each breath just goes on by itself without our even thinking about it. The most important thing that sustains our life and without which we could not live is not even noticed. It took an enlightened master to teach us that we have within us, in every moment, the secret of life, the key to inner peace, happiness, joy, and fulfillment. When I first learned the 8 spiritual breaths from Santosh Ma, I had been a lifelong meditator, but had not used breaths as a natural spiritual practice. I had no idea how powerful it is to consciously use the breath to open energy channels, clear old data that had been stuck for so long, and thus activate the divine light living in every cell of my body. In this way, divine wisdom is accessed. To truly be the master of my destiny, this is essential. When I enrolled in this online 8 spiritual breaths course, my intention was to recommit to this practice and surrender fully to the process, however it unfolded. For one thing, I knew I needed this practice to maintain emotional stability. My dear aunt, who was like a mother to me, was in her last stage of life, and I was helping to take care of her. My younger brother was allowing his life to slip away from alcoholism. Both of them died within 2 weeks of each other at the beginning of this course. Because of the 8 spiritual breath practice every day, I was able to maintain balance within the grieving process. And I learned that divine love transmutes grief back to its source. From the beginning of the TESB course, we learn, I am the master of my life. I create my reality. Truthful affirmations that we say after each breath direct our energy toward the best experience possible. The very first affirmation gives us the key to happiness. We bring in the light of divine wisdom and visualize every cell in our body as a lamp. From the first breath to the last, we are paving our spiritual path with pure light. This is why the end, the culmination, is contained in the beginning, and the beginning is contained in the end. After each cycle of breaths, we have created our life anew. The cycle of evolution is never ending. Death follows birth. Life is eternal, is a statement Master Charles Cannon made after the Mumbai terrorist attack. Contained in the breaths is the life force, which is eternal. I begin each day with the practice of the 8 spiritual breaths. Each day, I'm a new person. Each day is a new beginning. In the Bible, there's a passage where God says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. He was talking about eternal life. After these 3 months, I understand this statement from my own experience as, I am whole, I am eternal. With this affirmation, we visualize a circle, which is complete unto itself, containing both the beginning and the end. In Revelation 21, John hears, "He who sat on the throne," referring to God the Father, say, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts." God the Father is source consciousness. This is what masters do for us: give of the fountain of the water of life freely to him who thirsts. The 8 spiritual breaths is such an inexhaustible fountain. These are power breaths that infuse both our physical body and our energy bodies with divine light. Every day, I charge my entire nervous system, as well as the 7 major chakras, with this energy that contains all living being. I find it fascinating that the beginning affirmation is visualizing light in every cell, and the final affirmation is charging every cell with the light of divine wisdom and locking it up within. Every breath contains the Alpha and the Omega. I am now more aware of my breathing throughout the day, something I will never take for granted again. I am so grateful to these breaths and to the new life stretching out before me. With a humble heart, I thank our dear Santosh Ma for creating this course in such a way that we can absorb its profound wisdom and experience for ourselves the secret of life. In conclusion, I came across this poem by the 13th century mystic poet Lala. If you live on the breath, you won't be tortured by hunger and thirst or the longing to touch. The purpose of being born is fulfilled in the state between I am and that. I read this years ago, and now I understand from my own experience what Lala is describing. The 8 spiritual breaths, I am forever grateful.